Hey y'all, come on in the room. Good morning. It's Monday, and it is Monday after. Oh, wait a second, child. Look at this. It is the Monday after we've sprung forward. It is the Monday after the time has changed, and some of y'all probably sleep trying to figure out your life. Okay, but welcome back, Monday crew. Y'all are my Monday crew. And we are about to get it jumping, get it popping. Make sure that you are inviting people, okay? And friend, if you have been following this channel and you have not subscribed, please make sure you go ahead and subscribe because it is important that as you are coming, I want to connect with you. I want us to connect together, so on and so forth. Good morning, Key girl. How are you? How you feeling today? I am on my smoothie this morning, so y'all gonna have breakfast with me. I might be popping my lips and smacking my teeth while we in here today. But anyway, I'm happy to be here. I went and did Pilates this morning and I'm still in my workout gear. So child ain't did nothing to this head, nothing. I'm doing good. How are you doing? I'm doing good. My weekend was busy. A friend of mine, she turned 50 this weekend, so I went to her brunch. And then I had dinner. My husband and I had dinner with another couple. Um, we just was hanging out. Like we was just in them streets this weekend. Okay. We was outside, like y'all say. I'm outside. I was outside. How was your weekend? As you come into the room, make sure that you check in. I want to know where you're from, your name, take your test, all those good little things. So, baby, don't just come in here and look at me. Talk back to me, okay? I'm gonna keep it pushing because it's 11:02, and I want to make sure that I am respecting your time. We do have quite a bit of information to cover today, so I am going to keep it moving. One of the things that I said I was going to share with you all is this past Sunday, we took a double leap. Look, we took a double leap, okay? We, first of all, it's leap year, so we are already 4 years. You see what I'm saying? We're already doing this year what 4 years didn't do. And then we sprung forward yesterday, so now we're being pushed again into the future. Let me tell you something. We took two leaps this year already. Baby, if you ain't took your leap and did what you were supposed to do, it is still time. This just lets you know that, friend, this is your moment. Like we look, we're being pushed forward into the future. Make sure you are doing the things that you promised yourself you was gonna do, baby. Don't do it for your mama, don't do it for your cousin, don't do it for your spouse, your partner. Do it for you, friend, because you deserve it. We took two leaps yesterday in the atmosphere. There was two leaps. We sprung forward and we're in a leap year. So even if you didn't feel motivated yesterday to leap and to do these things that may scare you, hopefully this will encourage you and inspire you as you continue to move forward. Okay, baby, don't get stuck. Don't get stuck, okay? Don't, baby. Let me tell you something. I watched this movie on Netflix yesterday called Damsel, and it had a very good meaning to it, and it was very enlightening. And so just keep pushing forward, and it ain't too late to be great. Let's welcome to the winner circle our friend Kim. If y'all want to be, what I am doing is I realized, and I said this last week, you ain't got to just pass the test to be in this winner circle, baby. All of us are winners. And so as y'all leave me comments, y'all love on me, y'all, whatever y'all do, shout me out or whatever, baby, I'm screenshotting it and I'm putting it in the winner circle. And this is how we keep in contact with each other, and it's our community. So let's welcome Kim. Kim is new to the channel. Baby Kim say she just found us 4 days ago. Look at God. Come on, Kim. Come on in the room. Okay. Y'all say hey to Kim. Hey, Kim. Hey. Girl, and love on Kim, because as people continue to find us and our community grows, We are here to support each other. Kim say, I'm new to the pharmacy world. Grateful to have found your channel. Baby, come on into pharmacy. Come on into the LW circle so that way we can play together. Okay. I am so happy when I see women going for their dreams. And it's so inspiring to me, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So Kim came through. She said, yeah, I'm new. I'm going to need some help. Baby, one thing about it, two things for sure. If you know that you're trying to do something new, don't ever do it by yourself. Baby, don't ever do it by yourself. For what? For what? Not when it's somebody out there who has already done what you're doing and who has already conquered it. It just doesn't make any sense. Don't do it by yourself, okay? So we're gonna love on Kim. Y'all drop some hearts in the chat for Kim. Love on Kim. Hey girl, hey. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into our lesson. I want to make sure that you guys have enough time to digest all of this information. This is a very important. Did I say important? Baby, this is a very important chapter, okay? Very important topic. Shout out to my friends who are in week 14 in my pharmacy tech class. This right here, this gonna help you. Baby, this gonna help you. Get your paper and your pen out because this is your opportunity. This is your moment to retain. We are repeating and we repeat and repeat. I learned that this morning, repeat and repeat. That's what we're doing in here, okay? So when you go through my channel, you say, well, dang, it's the same. The more you see it, the more you understand it, the better you are, how you can pass that board exam and you retain it, okay, friend? We're going to be talking about medication errors today and how to report them. When you come in, make sure that you are dropping your location, where you from, so on and so forth, so that way we can play with each other, okay? I told everybody earlier that I am this is my dinner. No, I'm lying, it's my breakfast. So as you come in, if you see me, just like, girl, you tearing that little smoothie up, and is okay. Which of the following is not an example of a medication error? So when we think about a medication error, there are so many different ways that an error can take place, right? An error can take place by the doctor. That's when the doctor writes a prescription, and let's say the doctor, mistakenly gives the patient too much or too little. Let's say that the doctor, doesn't list the how long he wants the patient on the medication, certain things like that. That's a prescribing error. A dispensing error happens in the pharmacy, okay? Where do dispensing errors happen? In the pharmacy, okay? They happen in the pharmacy. Who is dispensing the medication? The pharmacy is, right? So anytime you see dispensing error, we're talking about an error that took place in the pharmacy. If you see a prescribing error, that's an error that was committed by the doctor. If you see an administration error, that is an error that was committed by the nurse or the caretaker, right? Because as pharmacy technicians, our job is to dispense. Dispense is another word for give, okay? So when you think about dispensing errors, know for sure that those are coming from the pharmacy, straight up from the pharmacy, okay? Now, it says to give a nitroglycerin patch when the intended route was sublingual administration. Nitroglycerin, I want to stop there and talk about that for a second. Nitroglycerin is used for chest pain, and it is normally given to individuals who may have a background of having heart attacks or having some sort of, hard, heavy chest pain. Nitroglycerin is normally given in a sublingual route. That means that they're putting the medication underneath their tongue and it is being dispensed throughout their body or dispersed throughout their bodies, okay? When they do the nitroglycerin is one of those medications that do not have to have a child-proof cap. I told you, baby, this lesson gonna be jam-packed today. I'm running it today. Baby, we running it and we running it and we running it back, okay? So if you are in here, go ahead and take some notes because this information, you can always pause it and rewind it for those who are watching the playback. And then for my friends who are on the live, you can run it back after this airs, okay? But nitroglycerin is not a medication that requires a child-proof cap. Write that down, because if you're asked, what medication does not require a child-proof cap, if you see nitroglycerin there, that's your, you know, okay, that's your answer. Nitroglycerin is always kept in the same container that it is dispensed out of or given to that let me say this. The original container that the nitroglycerin comes into the pharmacy, that is the same container that it is dispersed or dispensed to the patient. We don't change the containers. Nitroglycerin is a real, real serious drug. We don't play with nitroglycerin, okay? It's a real serious drug, okay? The next option says giving the patient a medication intended for someone else. Giving the patient a medication intended for someone else. Remember, what are we looking for? We're looking for an example of medication error that is not. We're looking for, it says, which of the following is not an example of medication error? Is not. Is not. Okay. Giving the patient a medication intended for someone else. So I don't know if y'all done heard me tell this story before, but I'm gonna tell it real quick. So, okay, in 2000, child, I don't even know why I try to play with my mind like this. Basically, when I worked at Walgreens, and I worked in a pretty decent store. It was busy, and we had a patient to come through the pharmacy, and this patient, I was helping. What it was is I was helping the drive-through. Our drive-through was really busy, so I was helping the drive-through. And what I was doing was I was pulling the patient's medication. And as I would pull the patient's medication, I would pass it to the pharmacy tech who was working the drive-through. So my job at the time was just pulling, because I didn't have anybody at the register to work or focus on. So I was just pulling medication while nobody was at the register to help drive-through so it could move a lot faster. So I'm pulling the medication. They tell me the patient's name. Well, when I pulled the medication, it's two patients in there with the same name. They had the same name and the same, I want to say, yeah, it was the same name. We're going to stick with that because it's been a while. I can't remember. So I can't remember if we checked the date of birth. I don't feel like we did. So what ended up happening was, let's just say the patient's name was Ashley Thomas. I ended up pulling the medication that had Ashley Thomas on there, but there were two Ashley Thomases in the pharmacy database, and they both had prescriptions to be filled or were filled and waiting for pickup. So I'm not talking directly to the patient, my colleague is, and I'm helping him, get the medication to the people at the drive-through. And Ashley Thomas pulls up, I pull the medication, gives it to him, and then I later on felt like, dang, I feel like I didn't do it right. I saw the two names there. They both were Ashley Thomases. I wasn't really clear on which one was actually here to pick up the medication. So we made that error, basically. It bothered me, y'all. I was in the pharmacy still working, and I kept telling the pharmacist, I'm like, I think I made a mistake. I think I made a mistake. And the pharmacist was like, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You did good. I've always been a really good technician, y'all. So my superiors have always trusted in me. Even when I thought I made mistakes, they never even believed me and I've only made a few, because there's not a lot of room in pharmacy to make a mistake. But I have made some. I'm not perfect. And so he kept saying, no, you're fine, you're fine. And so finally, like the next day, I picked up the phone and I called Ashley Thomas. And I said, do you have such and such prescription? I gave her the prescription name, the name of the medication. I said, do you have that in front of you? And she said, yes. And I said, have you taken it? And she said, no. And I said, can you please bring that medication back to the pharmacy? We gave you the wrong thing. And baby, Ashley Thomas had an attitude, started trying to verbally abuse me over the phone, was mad that she had to come back and all of those things. I took it. I went ahead and I took it that day because I realized I was the one who made the mistake. I was just happy that she hadn't taken the medication. Excuse me, y'all. I was just happy that she hadn't taken the medication and we were able to rectify the situation. I ended up getting wrote up because it's protocol that they write you up. But the pharmacist and them were like, we writing you up because it's protocol, but really you caught your own mistake. And we didn't believe you, but you were persistent enough to follow through with the patient. And so I'm just glad, that you caught it or whatever. And they wasn't mad. I wasn't mad neither. I understood, what was going on. So I say that to say that was a dispensing error that happened in the pharmacy. And if you have a patient with the same name in the same name, always check date of birth no matter what. If you have a patient with the same name and the same date of birth, the next thing to do is to check their address because most 9 times out of 10, the same people are not living at the same address. Okay. So when it say giving the patient medication intended for someone else, that was my bad. I did that. Giving a generic medication when the physician prescribed a brand name and stipulated in writing no substitutions. When the doctor says brand name medically necessary, we cannot, we cannot, I will repeat, we cannot change the medication to generic, even if the patient requests, because if the doctor says brand name medically necessary, we have to follow the doctor's order. Okay. The last thing says given a chewable tablet instead of a liquid at the patient's request. And here it says, which of the following is not an example of a medication error? The correct answer would be D as in dog, giving a chewable tablet instead of a liquid at the patient's request. That is not a dispensing error. If the doctor did not indicate brand name necessary, or if the doctor did not indicate that they need to have this particular pill or whatever, we can give them the liquid instead of the chewable, because remember, our goal in the pharmacy is to have patients compliance. Okay. Patients compliance. We want our patients to comply with the doctor's orders, and we want them to take the medication as required. Okay. So we want them to adhere to the doctor order in the medication therapy. So if giving them a liquid instead of a chewable is going to help them to complete this medication therapy, let's give it to them, child. Baby, you is not the doc. I keep telling people, they be thinking they the police. You're not the police. You can't make somebody do something they don't want to do. But you can help them do the right thing. You can lead them there. Okay. Hey, friend, that's my friend. You're always here with me. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here today. I hope you had a great weekend. So the next one is pharmacy tech responsibilities. It says, what is the first step a pharmacy technician should take upon detecting a medication error? When you, excuse me, y'all, when I made that medication error or that dispensing error, I immediately alerted my pharmacist once I started to realize it. Okay. When you realize that a medication error has taken place, alert the pharmacist immediately. Here's the thing I want you to know. You are not a robot. You are not a computer. You are not on autopilot. Okay. You are going to make mistakes. So please don't go into this thinking that you're not going to make a mistake. It's inevitable. Okay. I'm a human being. You are a human being. And we are not right all the time. Even the pharmacists. Okay. Humans, it is in our human nature to make mistakes. So please do not get in that space where you're so focused on not making the mistake that you actually do make a mistake. Okay. If you make a mistake, what you would need to do is to alert the pharmacist. Tell them, hey, I think something happened. What is the first step, friend? Alert the pharmacist. Write this down. Tell your pharmacist, because they can rectify the situation. And if we catch it quick enough, we can reach the patient before they actually take the medication if it's in that type of scenario. Okay. If they've taken it and we alert the pharmacist, they will know what to do next. So please don't, be so caught up in trying not to make a mistake that you actually do. You're welcome, friend. Thank you. I'm just glad that you're here, and I love the hearts. Y'all know hearts are my favorite. I love the hearts. The next one says REMS. REMS is a strategy used to manage known and potential serious risk of a drug or biologic product. The FDA requires REMS to ensure that the benefits of a drug outweighs its risk. What does the synonym or the acronym for REMS stand for? What does the acronym for REMS stand for? I will say this. And as come in and you get the answer, feel free to drop it in the chat. Also, my kids are on spring break, so you may hear them moving around, and it's child is real life over here. So when you think about REMS, it says that it's a strategy used to manage known and potential serious risks of a drug or a biological product. So the word risk lets me know that REMS is there to manage, like it says, the possibility of something going wrong with this particular drug. When it says that they're there to make sure that the benefits outweigh the bad, that's basically what they're saying. So it's like, I always go to relationships because I just feel like they're easier to understand, and everybody has, love or some type of companionship, and at some point in your life, right? So you know how it is. You be with somebody and you be with them for a little while, and then they start getting on your nerves, and then you be like, "Oh, do I still want to talk to you?" But then you start thinking, and you like, okay, well, you do X, Y, and Z that I don't like, but you actually are good at A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But it's the X, Y, and Z that you be doing that I ain't really feeling. But then you start looking at A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you like, well, yeah, you be doing this, but you really good at these things, and this really, works out. So maybe we can stay together in this relationship, and we'll try to make X, Y, and Z better, but I will focus on the good of it, right? And that's the same thing that REMS does. REMS is like the therapist that comes into the marriage and say, hey, y'all are butting heads right now, but make a list of all of the good and then make a list of all of the bad. And if the good outweighs the bad, then maybe you keep it. But if the bad outweighs the good, then the risk is too high. Maybe y'all go y'all separate ways. Now, look, I ain't telling nobody what to do because I ain't no marriage therapist. Okay, so don't even be coming on here talking about, yeah, I got my answer, I got my confirmation. Just because you want to leave that person, that ain't got nothing to do with me. So do not blame that on me, okay? But what I am telling you is that drugs, especially drugs with high probability to cause serious risk, they are overseen by REMS. REMS stands for Risk Evaluation and Mitigation Strategies. How can we evaluate the risk? How can we mend this? How can we make these things better, right? The other thing that gave you the hint is that the word risk is here. So if it's telling you in the definition, risk, then you got to know that the only possible answer would have been B or C. B or C. When it tells me to manage, manage is another word for evaluation. That's it, friend. Manage is another word for evaluation. That is it. REMS is a strategy used to manage known and potential serious risks of a drug or biologic product. Known, it has a reputation, is used to manage known and potential serious risks. That means that this drug has already shown. We know that when somebody takes chemotherapy, one of the major risks is that their hair is probably going to go, right? Yeah. Okay. So when you think about REMS, I want you to think about risk evaluation and mitigation strategies. Write that down because that is definitely on your exam. Okay. The next one says high alert medications. Baby, we on high alert. Which of the following does the ISMP consider to be a high alert medication? Think about that for a second. High alert medication. First of all, let me ask you this. Do you know who the ISMP is? I know we talked about this before. I'm going to put it in the chat. Child, if my, okay, because, baby, these fingers act like they didn't want to, ISMP is the Institute of Safe Medication Practices. Mm-hmm. Y'all need to know them. I was trying to see something. As you come into the room, make sure you drop your location so we know where you're calling from. Or I always say calling from like we on the radio. I don't know what that is. So I know where you're joining from, okay? Also, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for notifications so that way you don't miss out on any upcoming content. So high alert medications are overseen or really, projected. I don't even want to use the word projected, but identified. That's the word by the ISMP. The ISMP is the Institute of Safe Medication Practices. Their job is to ensure that medication is being used in safe ways. Okay. They have quite a few things here. We have IM, which is intramuscular. Write this down. If you don't know this, you need to know this. Intramuscular, okay? Intramuscular medication goes into a muscle. So if somebody gets a shot of penicillin, they normally put it in like the buttocks or in their thigh, somewhere where a muscle is, okay? IV, oxytocin. Oxytocin IV is going to be intravenous. So that means it's going into the vein. Like you see this young man right here is getting the medication into the vein, okay? And then you have oral. So that means that they're taking it by mouth. Write this down. Oral by mouth, IV intravenous into the vein, IM intramuscular, okay? Now, it says, which of the following does the ISMP consider to be a high alert medication? When somebody takes a medicine, let's start with oral. Let's break that one down first. When I think about oral and I think about somebody taking something that they shouldn't have taken, most of the time, if you pump their stomach, you can get that stuff to come back up and get it out of their system and before it even hits the digestive and start doing the whole pharmacokinetics thing, right? Absorption, distribution, metabolism, and elimination. So normally you can, right? Nasty. Oh, y'all nasty. And then when you think about intramuscular, it's going into that muscle. Okay. So it's going to take a little time. But when it's the IV and it's going into that vein and it hits that bloodstream, oh, baby. You know what? I used to watch this show called Intervention. And it would be nasty, y'all. It would be nasty. But these people would be struggling for real, for real. They would be on those drugs. And some of them were prescription medication and some of them were street drugs. But the ones who got high the fastest were the ones who would put the drug in a needle and put it in their vein. And it's like as soon as they would do it, they would just go limp like that. Or they would throw their heads back. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, dang, that's really crazy. That's really serious. And that right there helped me to understand that when you put something in the vein, that bloodstream catches it fast, and now it's moving through the body. The reason why IV is a high alert medication, IV oxytocin, is because once it hits that bloodstream, it is almost impossible to retract that. Okay. Remember, IV bags are compounded by pharmacy technicians. So once you gain your PTCB certification or your NHA certification, you can go and work in the retail pharmacy for 6 months, a year, maybe 2 years. But after 2 years, leave. Baby, get your stuff and leave. Go somewhere else into another setting and work. Never stay in the same place too long, okay? IV bags are compounded by pharmacy technicians. You have the knowledge, the understanding, the wisdom, and the skill set to compound IV bags. So make sure once you get certified, you continue to build your certifications and that you gain more and more knowledge so you can make more money, more money, more money. Okay? Make that money. Don't let it make you. The next one is patient's 5 rights. Now, when we're dispensing a medication, it is critical to remember the 5 rights of medication safety. What are the 5 rights? Everybody put your hands in the air like this. Flip them, flip them. Now wave them side to side like you just don't care. Okay? 5 on 5 on 5. 5 patients' rights. They got 5. What are those 5? It's your job to know this, friend. I'm going to tell you right now, it's your job. Now, I'm going to tell you today, but it's going to be your job to remember. Okay? So it says the rights of a patient. The patient they're entitled to get the medicine for the right patient, the right time, the right route, the right dose, and can anybody else tell me? Can anybody else tell me what you think it is? The letter C says right refills. Do y'all think that's it? What is the missing number or letter or word here? Anybody say anything? Child, y'all be coming on here, y'all be quiet. I told y'all. The right patient, the right route, the right time, the right dose, and the right what? Quantity. Letter A. Right patient, right time, right route, right quantity, right dose. Okay? Doesn't matter about the refills and things like that. We're talking about when the patient first comes into the pharmacy, what are they required to receive? It needs to be the right patient. So y'all know I talked about earlier how I screwed up and I made that mistake. That was me going against the patient's right. It was the right medication for the right patient, but that patient wasn't there to pick that up. So it became completely wrong. It is letter A, right patient, right route, right time, right quantity, and right dose. Okay. That is 5. In the air, wave them side to side like you just don't care. Okay. 5. I want to talk to you a little bit about your future. Look at Cardi, baby. Cardi in them nails. Let's talk about the nails for a second. If you are in the pharmacy, those type of nails, although they are cute, I love the colors. I love to see women who have these nails and they are so creative and they really, that to me, that is a way of expressing yourself and sharing yourself with the world. I will tell you, it is cute. It is great for entertainers. It is also great for individuals who are in the fashion world. It is great for individuals who are trying to become social media influencers. It is good for all of those who are really in that space of trying to gain following and content creators and things of that nature. That's fine. But in healthcare, where you are responsible for someone else's health and the outcome of their health, these nails are not appropriate. If you see my nails right now, they are a nude color, and these are actually my nails. I don't have, long nails, right? Um, I will definitely wear that color. That color is beautiful. So it's nothing against that if you're in retail pharmacy. When you get ready to go inside of like let's say you're compounding the IV bags, or you go into a sterile environment in the pharmacy space, colored nails and things like that, you can't wear that. Her eyelashes are beautiful. Her makeup is beautiful. Everything about this right here is pretty. I love Cardi B. I think she is an amazing woman. But I will tell you, Cardi B is an entertainer. You are a pharmacy technician. Those are two very different worlds. Okay. So on the weekend, be Cardi B. But on the weekdays, be that pharmacy technician, because that's where your coins come from. Remember, Cardi, a part of her branding is her nails. Her nails is a part of her brand. When you see Cardi B with long nails, you're not surprised because you know that that is a part of her brand. The cosmetic surgery she's gotten, it's a part of her brand. The makeup she wears, the way she talks, her lifestyle, it's all a part of her brand. And what does her brand do? It gains her more followers. It makes her more money. That is her world. But as you become a pharmacy technician, this is a part of my brand. This is what makes me do my job in a very competent way, is because I'm not an entertainer. I'm an educator, right? So I have to make sure that I'm in the space where I can educate and individuals can get the information that they need and move on with their life. Same way with you, once you get into the pharmacy, you will be working directly with patients and you will be working with caregivers, so on and so forth. You will be working with a medical team. You want to see and you want to show them that you are competent. You have the skills, you have the ability, and that you can get the job done. Okay. So make sure that as you move about and you get things done, that you remember, hey, during the week, whenever you're at work, I can't do this at work. And then on the weekends, you can, right? So maybe get you some press on nails, honey, that you can wear on the weekends or whenever you off. And then when you ain't working, you can go in there with your regular nails and get your, because baby, don't let nails affect your coins. Okay. Don't let it do it. Don't let it do it. So I wanted to put that in your ear just so you know, as we're talking about safe medication practices and medication errors, we have to make sure that we are operating in a sterile space, a clean space, aseptic technique. That is very important in pharmacy, because one small thing, just imagine you in the clean room compounding IV bags and your nail polish chips off into the IV bag and you don't see it, but then they hook that up to a patient. The patient uses that medication, it goes through the IV like I just showed you, and now your nail polish that chipped went into the IV, went into the patient. Now something has happened with this patient. Child, let me tell you something. Them nails be cute, but you don't want to be caught up in a situation where now you have jeopardized, and it's not just nails, eyelashes, they're cute. Not in that clean room. Now, in the retail space, it's different. You can wear you some eyelashes. Makeup, not if you in the clean room, not if you in a sterile space. So make sure you're also thinking about that too, okay? As you move about and you continue to invest in your future, baby. What she say? Invest in that. Your future, invest in that. That's what you got to do, friend. It's important, okay? So I want to make sure that as we are preparing to be certified, that I'm also being honest with you about what these employers are looking for, because it is your job to come in there and show them what you can do, boo. Show them what you can do. Okay. Tall man lettering. So tall man lettering are used to reduce errors. What kind of errors? Medication errors. Okay. What kind of errors? Dispensing errors. Where do dispensing errors happen? In the pharmacy. Who can make a dispensing error? The pharmacy technician or the pharmacist. Okay. Tall man lettering. Which strategy to reduce errors would label bupropion and buspirone? Y'all know I can't say these words. Buspirone as bupropion and buspirone on the pharmacy shelf. Child, who is calling me right now? Everybody who know me for real know I'm here with you. Baby, phone just a ringing. I don't know who that is. It says, let me read this again, child, because I done told these names up. Which strategy which strategy to reduce error would label bupropion and buspirone as bupropion and buspirone on the pharmacy shelf? Child, look, y'all go to the pharmacy, don't pronounce it like me, baby. I'm gonna tell you right now, don't even do it, because I know I done tore them up. So when you think about tall man lettering is going to be just what it sounds like. The letters are going to be tall, and then you're going to have some letters that are short. So that means you're going to have some letters that are capital letters, and then you're going to have some that are not capitalized. Okay. Tall man letters are this way because it's trying to get your attention before you dispense the medication to the patient. Okay, because our job is, even if we do make a mistake in the pharmacy, we make it in the pharmacy, but let's prevent it from happening to the patient. So when they put these medications on the shelf, all of the medicines are going to be, kind of like this, and then they are going to be side by side, right? So if you see bupropion and then buspirone right there, and by the way, write this down, because this is actually two drugs that look alike and sound alike. Remember, we talked about that before. Let me put that down here. Look alike and sound alike, also known as LASA. LASA. Not Lisa, but LASA. Okay? Look alike, sound alike. Look alike, sound alike. Those are drugs that get confused all the time. And that is one of the most common dispensing medication errors in the pharmacy are look-alike, sound-alike drugs. Look-alike. Child, wait a second. Done took my little oh no, that's the wrong thing. Okay, let's see. Okay, we back. My bad, y'all. I done got too excited trying to type on this computer. Okay, look-alike, sound-alike drugs, right? Look-alike LASA, look-alike, sound-alike drugs. So when you are dealing with those look-alike, sound-alike drugs, you want to make sure that you are paying attention to the tall man lettering. Tall man lettering is going to tell you which ones, which one is which. Okay, write this down. Buspirone and buspirone. Don't say it like me, but write them down, because those two drugs are commonly or they are look-alike, sound-alike drugs, and these are the type of dispensing errors that happen in the pharmacy. Okay. Now, when a medication error happens, we need to report that to MERP. Okay. MERP is the Medication Error Reporting and Prevention Committee that is there to receive these type of reports. Okay. So it's very important that we are reporting that so they can keep up with the different errors, because guess what? If the error happens in your pharmacy, then it happens in another pharmacy in another state, and then it happens in another pharmacy in another state. Now there's a trend. So if we're reporting these errors, they can say, okay, well, maybe this is not something that's just happening This is not an isolated situation. This is not just one pharmacy. This is not on an individual. This now could be something going on with the medication, so on and so forth, right? So which of the following is used in error reporting? It is MERP. MERP, medication error reporting and prevention. Write that down. MERP, medication error reporting prevention. Write that down. Okay, come back and make sure you get that information. As you come into the room, I see y'all coming in. Please make sure that you are dropping your location. Also subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when we drop new content. I am here every Monday, baby, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Get with it. Tap into it. It was one other thing I was going to tell y'all about this. Medication error reporting and prevention. Oh, remember that it is voluntary. They do not, medication error is a voluntary thing that patients can do. Patients could very well take a medicine, go home, and experience some type of problem or adverse reaction and not share it with the pharmacy. So it is voluntary, but we do ask that, and even in the pharmacy, they don't always share medication errors either, y'all. It's voluntary, but they do ask that you do share, because remember, if you're having the error, somebody else is having the error, so on and so forth. It could be that it may not be an individual thing. It could be something more bigger than that. And if we report these errors, they can then share it and just try to figure it out where it doesn't happen again. I know a lot of times people are scared to report errors because of retaliation. But remember that our job in the pharmacy is to do no harm. And so if we know about errors and we report them, we just don't know how this may help the next person, or if they're waiting and saying, okay, well, let's just see if this is going to happen again. And if it does, maybe we'll go this route. So it's always best to see something, say something, okay? The American Society of Health System Pharmacists, ASHP. ASHP is the organization that accredits pharmacy technician programs, okay? They are the organization that do that. Recapping needles. Now, when you think about recapping needles, I want you to think about the scoop, the one scoop technique. So it's like a pin top. Let me see. Okay, I don't have no pen, but I have a highlighter. So let me see if I can put this right here. Okay. Look at me being creative for my friends. I love y'all. Okay, so look, you take it and you don't go up like this, because guess what? If you miss this thing right here, this top, child, now you done poked yourself with the needle that you just used to inject the medication in, and no telling what kind of medication it was, but whatever it is, it just went into your body. Don't do that. Okay. Well, you're gonna have, I guess it wouldn't really go into your body because y'all not gonna be doing it on your hand, you're gonna be doing it on your surface. Okay, scratch that. Forget I said that. This is the table. So what you're going to do is this is the needle, this is the top, and you're gonna scoop up, right? Because you have to scoop it off of the table. So the idea is that you are going under and scooping up, right? So you're going under and you scoop up, right? So under, scoop up. Now, you're not going to be tested over this information. So, this is not anything that I'm super concerned about. But I will tell you, recapping, it says all of the following are examples of risk management initiatives except recapping the needles using the one-hand method. The other risk management initiatives is double counting narcotics. Let me tell you why we do that. We do that because we want to make sure. Remember, a narcotic is a control 2, a control 3. Let me put this in the thing. Control 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the controlled drugs, right? You got C3, C4, and C5. Okay. And these are the drugs that are considered narcotics. Okay. I remember when I used to watch them little cop shows and I would hear them say they got these it's narcotics in here. I would think they would be talking about street drugs. They are referring to, they could be talking about street drugs too, but they are referring also to C2, C3, C4, C5. Okay. Double counting them. When you double count them, what you do is you count them and then you put a circle around the quantity, right? So if the quantity is 30, you count it 2 times on your counting tray. Look at me, I got a little counting tray for y'all, okay? And you know you count the pills by 5 and you count it 2 times, okay? You count it the first time, put it in here, count it again, and you circle the quantity on the label because that lets the pharmacist know that we for sure have 30 tablets in this prescription bottle. So the patient can't come back and say, y'all didn't give me all my medication. No, that's why we circle them. Because it lets us, it's an internal secret. So look, don't go start telling me everybody. Baby, that's not in pharmacy. Oh, girl, this is why baby, look, keep it to yourself. You got to keep a secret sometimes, friend. You got to, look, that's part of the problem. You told her, keep that secret. Okay. So that's what we're doing. We are double counting them. So when you are in the pharmacy, know that you can double count the medication, that quantity, only for narcotics. Now, don't be in there double counting gabapentin is, but don't be in there double counting amoxicillin. Then talking about, well, Lindsay said, baby, Lindsay ain't said nothing like that. I said controlled substances. Okay. Which organization oversees MedWatch? FDA. Who is the FDA? The Food and Drug Administration. Baby, if you don't write that down right now, you must already write it down because I need you to remember this. TJC is the Joint Commission. TJC, Joint Commission. ISMP, we talked about that already, Institute of Safe Medication Practices. But in this particular space, the Food and Drug is who oversees MedWatch. What do MedWatch do? Just what they say. They watching the medicine. Baby, what is MedWatch is watching medication. They is watching it to see if y'all are doing what y'all supposed to be doing. If the medication is doing what it's supposed to be doing, is it effective? Right? So the FDA set this up to watch these medications out here to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because the FDA is responsible for a drug. When a drug comes out, they have to submit an application to the FDA in order to be what? FDA approved. Because FDA job is to make sure that the medication is pure, safe, and effective. Pure, safe, and effective. Pure, safe, and effective. I'm like the little robot. I be seeing these little robots on TikTok. They real people, but they be going into like my kids call them NPC. Like, I don't know if y'all know about that, but they be doing, and they be getting views. So pure, safe, and effective. I'm gonna start doing that like on the little thing. No, I'm just saying I ain't gonna do that. But anyway, the FDA, their job is pure, safe, and effective. Okay. So make sure you remember that. That is the last slide for today, friends. Y'all did so good. I'm so proud of y'all. I am so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of all of the actual energy, the intentionality, the effort, right? I'm proud of what you're doing. Some of you all are taking this test for the second time. Some of you are taking it for the first time. Some of you don't know when you're going to take it, but you're here. Baby, all of that I'm here for as well. I truly enjoy preparing for you all and helping you guys get to that next space because it is so important that we work together to help one another. You know what I'm saying? And as you continue on your journey, feel free to follow me on TikTok. I share a lot of jobs that are available in the community. I share a lot of remote jobs. I don't know if I showed y'all this or told y'all this before, but the highest paid technician last year made $90,000, and they made it working at the VA. This is why I tell you, friend, when you get certified, don't just stay in retail. Baby, don't be in retail no longer than 2 years. And if I find out you're still in retail after the second year, I'm coming to get you. Don't let me find out. I'm snatching you out of the retail setting, okay? Um, and I'm snatching you out with love because I know that you are great and you can do more and you have more in you to give in other spaces, okay, friend? So definitely don't get caught up in one area because it's easy to get complacent because we are creatures of habits. And so we love to do the thing that feels good and feels familiar, but that's not always what keeps us growing, right? Your job, our job is to continue to grow. We're going to be growing until we make our transition from this earth, okay? So don't get stuck in any one spot. Definitely follow me on TikTok. If you are not in the Facebook study group, I'm going to drop that link inside of the video description. Make sure you get in that Facebook study group because that's where a lot of, I'm talking to my friends talking to me, my friends talking to my friends talking to each other. And if you want to be in there and be a part of the conversation, let's do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, okay? It's no reason to do this by yourself and to struggle. One thing that I am learning is it takes a team. It takes support. I don't really know much about the kingdom royal or the how kingdoms are set up because I didn't grow up in the UK where they have kings and queens. I grew up in America, and so our officials and the way our government is set up is totally different. And so I'm in a space now where I'm learning more about royalty in that kingdom. I don't even know what to call it, but I guess just the structure of it. And what I'm learning is it takes a team in order to operate on a certain level of royalty. And so if you want to succeed or if you want to do well, especially as something you've never done before, it does not make sense. And I'm not just saying it from me, but history shows that there is a certain level of support that you need in order to operate as a royal princess or queen or king, or all of these things are put in place. There is structure. And so in essence, I would be considered a servant to you because I'm helping you obtain the goal, right? You're not helping me, I'm helping you obtain the goal. So the more I understand what it's like to be in royalty and to have those things, the more I realize that I can't do it by myself, So I'm just passing that on to you. And it doesn't just have to be in pharmacy or in this space, friend. Just think about in every other area of your life where you may be struggling. And if you're doing it by yourself, that's probably the reason. But anyhow, I have enjoyed you today. Thank you for chiming on. Make sure you bring a friend, tell a friend, okay? Share this with a friend so somebody else can get the same information you're getting. Make sure you like and tag people so this information can get into the universe and the algorithm will pick it up. Thank y'all again for doing your best. I will be here next Monday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. See y'all next week. Bye.